Hello guys, let's start the lesson. So yesterday we have started the ng repeat and we have seen an example of ng repeat only with the string array we have seen. But now this time I'm going to create one string array and I want to perform one add remove functionality in that. That means the user should be able to add the new items and can be able to remove existing items also. So So this one is example done in the yesterday lesson, right? So we have just taken the same program and we are trying to make the changes. That is, so here we have a string array, and in that we are going to repeat which tag, p tag we are going to repeat. Instead of repeating the p tag, just I want to repeat li tag inside the ul. I'm going to take one li tag. That li tag has to be repeated in ul. Now we can notice LA tags have been repeating inside the unordered list. And here I want to perform addition. Means I want to add the new elements to the existing array. So for typing the new city, I'm going to create one empty text box. So this LA is a static, means only one time displayed. This LA will repeat, but this LA will be displayed only one time. And there, input type equal to text placeholder equal to new city, placeholder equal to new city, and also we want add button, and there should be corresponding property in the model, right, in order to bind this new city text box. So I'm going to create one new property in the model, that is a new city is by default null value, and I'm going to bind this new city property for this text box. Ng model equal to that particular new city. So meaning is what? When you type the value in the text box, the same is automatically updated in the new city text box, new city property. So I'm just typing some ABC something. This value automatically gets updated in the new city property internally. And when we click on this add button, I want to call some function. Let's create such a function or method here. So $scope dot add city. This function should execute when the user clicks on that add button. How to do that? Ng click equal to add city, and in this add city we can write any code. Just I want to access the existing text box value. The text box value is readily available in which property? New city property. So we have to add the new city, we have to add the value new city to the existing cities array. Cities dot push of new city. Now what's going on? Just as soon as we type the value of ABC, that ABC value automatically updated in which property? New city property. So that's why when we click on the add button, it will call the add city function, and there we are getting the text box value, and that text box value being added to the existing array by using push. So now that's why when we click on this add button, the new city has been added here. Whatever you type, that value will be added. And generally, after adding, what we expect, the text box should be empty, right? How to clear the text box? This text box is binded to which property? New city property. The new city property should be empty. New city acts as a remote to access this text box. So, any kind of setting or getting you want to perform on that text box, we have to perform it through new city property only. Don't access the text box directly in the JavaScript code. That is intention of the AngularJS data bindings. So here, after adding $scope.newCity equal to null, we have assigned null into new city property. The same is automatically reflected in the text box. There is no need of writing separate code for clearing the text box value. If you update the new city property, automatically text box gets updated. So that's why after adding, automatically you can notice the text box becoming clear. Next, after that, I want to allow the user to remove existing city also. I want to create remove button for every item. So inside the ng repeat, I'm just writing input type equal to button value equal to remove. Now we can notice remove button for every text box, for every item. When I click on this remove button, I want to call a function called remove city. Ng click equal to remove city. And we have to create that remove city function in the $scope. Remember, it must be present in the $scope only. If it is a normal other function, it is not possible to use the ng click event for that. So we are creating the remove city function here, and here we say remove. Now user may click on any remove button, it will call the same function. You may click on this one or this one, anyone, it will call the same function. But how to identify which is the currently clicked button based on which item you click on remove, how to identify? We have to pass the current working index as argument. So there in the function we can receive and do manipulation accordingly. But how to identify and pass that current working index to that function? Here we have to pass the argument $index. Okay, so what this $index will do, this $index is used to identify current working index. So for the first time it is 0, next time it is 1, and so on. Totally we have 6 items, means it will be 0 to 5. For the first item it is 0, second item it is 1, third item it is 2, like that. Current working index automatically represented as a predefined variable $index. Here $index is a predefined variable, that means it's a fixed name. So the dollar index we are passing is argument to which function? Remove city function. So there in the remove city function, we can receive that argument, that n argument receive the dollar index value, and that can be passed as that can be displayed here. Now check it. I just click on remove button for the first one. I got 0. If I click on second remove button, we got 1. Third remove button, 2. Fourth remove button, 3, and so on. So based on that index, we are able to identify the city name and we can remove it. We can perform anything based on that index. For example, I want to get the city name. Which city name? Which one you click on that city name? How to get that city name? $scope.cities.push $scope.cities of n. We got the city name and that I want to display in the alert. Now we can check. Now check it. When I click on this remove button, it is identifying that name Hyderabad. Next time I click on remove button, it is identifying Bangalore. Now based on that I want to remove it. So what will I try to do? $scope dot cities dot splice. Splice is used to remove the element from that array. Here we have to give index comma number of elements to remove. Index is 1, index is n, number of elements to remove is 1. Starting from n index, I want to remove only one element. So exactly nth element will be removed. So when I click on remove button, see that is being removed. But the problem is I'm expecting some confirmation message I want to display to user or issue to delete like that. Then what to do? If elect of confirm of or is sure to delete. If the user clicks on OK button only, it will come to this particular if. If the user clicks on this OK, I mean true, then only this activity should happen. Now check this, I click on remove button. If I click on OK only, it is being removed. If I click on cancel, it's not being removed, check it. So this is all about the ng repeat. So any doubts in this one, check it. Okay, next part.
Hello?
Yeah, tell me.
Yeah, can I get the code that you have just created? Yeah, this one.
Yeah,
Yeah, thank you.
I did not get you. What do you
Oh
want
yeah,
to?
I would like to see the code, like when I practice it. Just I'm trying to recall what did you tell in the class. Can I get this code note?
Okay, okay, just
So,
okay.
yeah.
I think already have sent you a mail for this link.
Um, but that is there's a link, but that link is for videos or not sure. I'm not sure. I will check that.
Check that.
I'll check.
2 days back, I have already sent you. You got a mail from harshaglobal@gmail.com.
Oh, okay. I will check that. Okay,
Okay.
no problem. Thank you.
If you cannot find, I can just revert me. I will send that link again.
Sure. Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, next part. And now here we have animations. So what these animations are doing, these animation are as per CSS concept, animation means changing a CSS property value gradually based on the time is called as animation. Changing a CSS property value from one value to another value, from start value to end value based on the specified number of milliseconds. Changing a CSS property from start value to end value based on the specified number of milliseconds, based on the specified time. That is called animation. So in CSS3 itself, already we have animation. Like suppose we can change a width property from 100 to 300. We can change height property from 500 to 1000. We can change background color from green to red. So we can change any property value from one specific starting value to ending value based on the specified number of milliseconds, based on some time duration. That changing process is called as animation. You can change the value gradually. That is what we call it as animation. But how to invoke this animation while adding and removing elements in the ngRepeat? In the ngRepeat application, already we performed adding, removing. So while adding and removing, I want to invoke that CSS animations. Then we require some integration between the CSS animation and AngularJS. That integration is run by Angular animate.js. So Angular animations are provided in angular-animate.js, and their integration done between AngularJS framework and the CSS animations. CSS animation saying that the property value gradually should be changed. For example, width change from 100 to 300, opacity change from 1 to 0, left change from 10 to 20 pixels. Otherwise, font size will change from 12 to 14 pixels. So any change from one value to other value, but it happens gradually based on the time duration. That is called CSS animations are saying. And already we have AngularJS framework. That integration, migration done by which one? Angular-animate.js file. So to perform the animation, we have to copy paste this additional file to this application folder. That means in the same folder we should have angular.js plus angular-animate.js. Both files should be there in the same folder. Then we can perform the animations. For animation program, same ngRepeat example will take, but extra we have to import that angular animate.js file also we have to import. First we have to import angular.js, then only we have to import the angular animate.js. Reverse importing will not work. First angular.js, because it provides a primary functionality, major functionality. What is it? Core functionality. Core means primary, very mandatory, very foundational level. Then it's a advanced level is the animation. So first we have to import that angular.js, then we have to import the angular-animate.js. Reverse importing will not work. And now what's going on? This remaining code is same, and here particularly in this place we have to import a predefined module called ng-animate. This ng-animate is a predefined module present in this file. ng-animate module is present in this file. So after importing that ng-animate module, then we said indirectly that I want to perform animations in this application. So, but even though we just run this program now, while adding and removing, you cannot find any animation happening. Just normally removing or adding. We have imported the file, plus we have set the ng animate module into the current working module, but no changes practically. So it is because just we have to define the animation ourselves. No animation provided by default. We have to define the animation ourselves. How to define the animation? For defining the animations, we have some predefined classes. ng enter, ng interactive. These two are one set, one group. Separate set is ng leave active. These four CSS classes available, two sets of CSS classes available for defining the animations. Here we have to specify the starting value and the ending value respectively. For example, this one is for starting value, this one is for ending value. To define the starting value here, to define ending value here. ng entry is meant for specifying the starting value, ng interactive is meant for specifying the ending value. So what is the starting value, ending value here? For example, in 2 seconds, you want to change width property from 100 pixels to 300 pixels. In that case, 100 pixels is the starting value, 300 pixels is the ending value. So for example, you are changing the background color from green to blue. Here, what is the starting value? Green is starting value, ending value blue. So this will be performed. But now notice, but no animation you find here actually, because we have to define the transition property also. Transition 2 seconds. Any number of seconds we can write. So while adding, see, for that adding item, animation applied became green to blue. Starts with green, green slowly becomes as blue. In 2 seconds, green becomes blue. That is the animation here. And this ng enter and ng interactive both are meant for adding time only. Only adding time functionality can be done by adding time animation can be defined by ng enter and ng interactive. But the remaining ng leave active both are used to define the deleting time animation. Suppose if you say background color red, here background color yellow, transition 2 seconds. Now check it. I perform removing. See, red becomes yellow. While removing only it is applied. While adding, ng enter and ng interactive applied automatically. We are not applying these classes anywhere. These are the predefined names, fixed names. We cannot change that names. And these names get applied automatically. So adding time and removing time, both times animation is done. Okay, let's change the property. Instead of changing background color, I want to change a transform property. In CSS3, we have a transform property, right? Transform property, we have translate transformation, rotate transformation, skew transformation, different transformations we have. This time I want to apply a translate transformation, which define the position of the element in the web page. So while adding, suppose this item is being added. So while adding, it has to start from here, go towards here slowly. That's my requirement. I thought of displaying it here, and slowly it should move up. Okay, so how to do this? transform translate y means vertically it should be displayed 50 pixels below, and it should come towards 0 pixels. Transform translate y 0 pixel means original position. It has to start from the pixel 50 pixels bottom and move up towards up. So now if you can check there, while adding, see it is starting from bottom to up. The same I want to perform faster, so 0.5 seconds. Now you can notice very quickly it has been added. See, very quickly it is being added. Next, after that, I want to perform animation on removing also. While removing, suppose this item is being removed, so it has to go out of the screen towards left. It has to go out of the screen. So how to do that? The starting value should be 0 pixels. On the x-axis, it is 0 pixels. It has to go minus 200 pixels. Minus means the negative value. For the it has to go negative value means out of the screen towards left. So while removing, it is performing like this. The same I want to perform very quickly. Then what to do? 0.5 seconds. Now notice I click on remove. It is being removed very quickly. Like this we can perform any animation. Any CSS properties we can define there. So check there. We don't apply these classes automatically. We don't apply these classes to the elements. These will be applied automatically because we have imported ng animate module in our current working module. And this ng animate module is coming from angular-animate.js file. Okay, this is how the animations are performed. Okay, so I hope it is clear. If you have any doubts, you can ask me. Okay, just 1 minute. Okay, let's continue. Now, next one, ng repeat with object array. Okay, assume we have created one JavaScript object array. We have created a group of objects inside one array. Suppose here object 1, object 2, object 3. Suppose we have a number of objects like this, and I want to read the data from this object array and display the same in the output. That's what exactly happens in real time. See, in real time, for example, you have retrieved some list of students. Each student has a student ID, student name, marks. You want to display the list of bank transactions, bank transaction date, description, debit amount, credit amount, and final balance. So in all these cases, the data will be in the form of object array only. It contains one, it is one array which contains objects, and each object contains properties with values. So it's very common and obvious to use object arrays in real time. So how to read that object array data with the help of ng repeat? That's what we're going to demonstrate here. So, but before that we have to make sure that angular.js file present in the same folder. Then new program, ng repeat with the object array. The JavaScript file, HTML file should be present in the same location. And after that, ng repeat with the object array. Okay, now just we have to import that angular.js file. Here, I don't want to perform the animation. That's why that angular animate.js file is not required for us. Then for every program, creating module, creating controller, creating view is common. Creating module, module name can be anything. Inside the module, creating controller, creating a view. This process common for every example. And in the above, ng app equal to what is the module name? My module. Okay, that's it. Now, okay, now what we have to do? Students. So this is one array which contains a collection of objects, group of objects. So this is one object, and inside this object, student ID, student name, marks. Like this, we can have a number of objects. Just for example, we have created 5 objects. Each object consists of student ID, student name, marks. And I want to read the data from this students array, and I want to display the same. So I want to display the data in a table format. So table tr. This tr tag will repeat. Inside that td. So this tr tag has to be repeated. So ng repeat students in students, student in students. From the students array, one by one object by object is being loaded into which variable? Student variable. First of all, the student is a local variable which is accessible within the same tr tag only, not available outside. And this student variable will represent each object one by one. First time, for the first repetition, student equal to first object. For next repetition, student equal to second object, and so on. Each time we are displaying the student. So we are displaying the student object. But if you display the object like this, nobody can understand. So that's why we have to display in a normal regular format like a student ID only, student name, and the marks. You want to display the table with border. Plus I want to keep some heading also. And we can see a complete table. Like this we can read the data from existing object array. Simple, we have created one array with objects, each object representing one student. Each one by one student by student is being loaded into this particular student and being displayed here. This tier tag will repeat. So is it clear with this? Okay, if you have any doubts, you can ask me.
I'm good.
Okay. Actually, today I'm having some important work, so I'm stopping the class today now for now, and tomorrow will continue normal timings. So tomorrow will continue. And one more thing, this week onwards, India time Monday morning also we will have class. That is a Sunday evening for you. So India time Monday morning 6 a.m. also will have class this week onwards. Okay, so we'll continue tomorrow.
So, one question,
Yeah,
Asha.
yeah.
Yeah, this is 7 days back. We are not going to get off, right?
Only like India time Sunday only class will not be there.
Oh, okay. Got
India
it.
time Sunday.
Okay.
So that is Sunday evening for you class will be there.
Yeah. Got it.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. Only Sunday morning, your time, Indian time, Sunday morning, we don't have class.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Got it.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you, Harsha. Thank you.